Hello future CS, welcome back to my channel again. So if you are appearing for the CA final January 2026 exam, this video is extremely important for you. So recently the ICAS Board of Studies conducted a webinar for advanced auditing subject where they clearly explained how you should write the answers in exam and where actually students lose marks. So in this video, I have summarized the key takeaways from that BOS webinar. So if your goal is not to just study, but to convert your preparation into marks, make sure you watch this video till the end. Also guys, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss out on important exam related updates and strategies. So guys, when you visit my channel, do check out the playlist section. You will find several curated playlists for the CA final exams. Make sure to explore them and watch the videos in order to get maximum benefit from each topic. So first some key exam points were discussed. So the amendments issued till 30th June are applicable for your January 26 exam, that is 30th June 2025. So these amendments are covered in your RTP. So please go through the revision test papers. And also next important point mentioned was writing the standard number, standard name, clause number, name and section and subsection will enhance your marks. However, do not write the wrong standard number or wrong name, wrong clause number or wrong clause name. Same way the wrong section number. If you are not sure, don't quote it at all. Quoting wrong of any of these will lead to loss of marks. So that is very important. Next important point mentioned was you should write the answer as per the marks allotted to the question. So, in case of knowledge and comprehension based question, for example, if the question is for 4 marks on any topic, and so if the pointers are small, so that time you have to write 8 points, and if the points are big enough, that time you can write 4 points. So, this way for each question you have to analyze. So, depending on the marks and depending on the points that is there under that topic, you should decide for how much marks, how many points you will be writing. Next important point discussed was how to answer application based question. So application based descriptive question means a small fact will be given in the question. So you have to analyze those facts and you have to write the answer. So a stepwise approach was given to answer this type of question. So step number 1 is facts of the case. So briefly write the relevant facts given in the question. However, do not rewrite the entire question. Focus only on that fact that trigger the particular standards, ethics, clause or provision. Then step number 2 is mention the applicable provision. So clearly mention the name and number of the EQCR or clauses of the CARO or professional ethics. That is clause number, para number, section number. So if you remember it correctly, then only quote it. So these numbers might relate to Code of Ethics or CARO or standards on auditing or SQC or other audit related regulations. Then step number 3 will be to interlink the facts with the provisions and give a proper conclusion. So you have to apply the provisions to the given facts and give a clear and decisive conclusion. Avoid vague statements like it depends. So your conclusion should be final. It should not be vague. So another type of question that will be asked in your exam is direct theory question. So how to answer this direct theory question? So point number 1, break the answer into brief points or paragraph. So do not write long continuous answers. Divide the answer into small logical points or short paragraphs. This improves readability and it helps the examiners to award marks easily. And point number 2, use properly framed language. So write in clear professional and technical language. Avoid casual or conversational wordings. So use the terminology prescribed by the ICI. So some terms such as auditor's responsibility, reasonable assurance, professional judgment, independence and objectivity, etc. So these terms should not be missed in your answers. So do not mix key terms with general terms. So like for example, do not mix the term audit misstatement with mistake, or mixing up the words opinion. Instead of writing audit opinion, you write audit advice. So that is wrong. Do not do this error. Then point number 3, highlight the main point. Present answers using headings, subheadings and bullet points. And if possible, highlight keywords to draw the examiner's attention to important concept. Then point number 4, avoid flowcharts and diagrammatic presentation. So for direct theory question, do not write flowcharts and diagrams. Answer should be descriptive and explanatory. So some exam focused tip. So ICI preferred structured written answer, conceptual clarity and professional presentation. So following the above method significantly increases the chances of scoring more marks even in the theory question. Next, some answering guidelines and language usage was provided in the webinar. So as we mentioned earlier, use properly framed language. The language used in the answer should be clear, professional and well structured. Avoid informal or casual wording and use ICI recommended technical terms like I mentioned before. And second point, you need not copy paste directly from the study material. That is, you need not write the provisions word to word from the study material. Your answer should reflect conceptual understanding and not memorization. Point number 3, do not give generic answer. So avoid writing common or vague statements. So each answer must be specific to the question asked. And provide facts of the case. So whenever there is application based question, clearly bring out the relevant facts and the facts should be linked to the applicable provisions. So do not ignore the facts while writing the provisions. Then point number 5, give a proper conclusion in line with the question's requirement. So the conclusion should directly answer what is asked in the question. It should be clear, logical. So avoid ambiguous conclusions such as it depends or may be considered. In this way, do not end your answer in an ambiguous way. So what are the examiner's expectation? The answer should be fact specific. It should be conceptually sound, well concluded and it should be written in professional language. Now the most important part of this video. Commonly committed errors by the students in the past exam. So in this webinar, almost 8 errors were identified, which were commonly committed by the students in the previous attempts. So please go through this part thoroughly and ensure you do not commit these errors. So first error is selective study. So studying only certain chapters or topics or ignoring ICA marked important areas. So this leads to inability to answer the compulsory question or unexpected question. So sometimes what students do is they study only few chapters and ignore the other chapters. So this chapter wise weightage is there. That is, some chapter have important high weightage, but that doesn't mean we should ignore the other chapter because questions might come from any chapter. So suppose this first compulsory question, in that a sub question like a sub part, if it comes from a chapter which is of low weightage, then we cannot miss that question, right? That is compulsory question. So if we do not write the answer for that, we lose marks. And even in the MCQ also, if one MCQ comes from any chapter which is of low weightage marks, then we will lose the marks of MCQ, which we can get easily if we have learned that chapter. So it is better to study all the chapter. So usually what you can do is like one day before while revising, first revise the chapters with the highest weightage so that at least maximum marks will be in your hand, and then revise the chapters with the less weightage. So by chance if there is any chapter which is of very less weightage, and because of time crunch, if you miss that, you won't lose much marks. So that should be the ideal strategy. So now mistake number 2, lack of written practice. So most of the times it was noticed that students resort to only reading theory part, but they do not practice writing theory answers. So this results in poor presentation, slow speed and incomplete answer. So what happens is students know the concept, but they fail to express it properly in the exam. So I hope you all have done sufficient written practice and also the format in which you should write. So for MCQ based question, there is no format. You have to just mark in the OMR sheet. But for application based question, you have to write step by step like we discussed earlier and how to answer for direct theory question. So these formats you have to follow because if you notice even in the ICAI material and even in the past paper RTP, MTP, the same standard format will be followed. So if you follow that same format, it will be examiner friendly and it will be easier for the examiner to reward marks to you. Mistake number 3, not reading the question carefully. So it was noticed that while reading the question, sometimes students skipped some keywords in the question, like explain, examine, comment, or state with reason. So it is very important to read the question carefully. And then you have to answer what is asked in the question itself. So if you don't read the question carefully and answer something different, this will lead to loss of easy marks. So you might know the answer, but still since you didn't read the question properly and answered something else, it might lead to a loss of mark. So mistake number 4, improper utilization of reading time. So most commonly committed error noticed was not planning the answer during the first 15-minute reading time. So optimum utilization must be done of this 15-minute reading time. So what we usually suggest is divide this 15 minutes into 5, 5 and 5. So the first 5 minutes you should spend in reading the entire question paper. Go through all the question thoroughly with an open mind. Sometimes what happens is some question you might feel similar to the question in the textbook, but some difference will be there. So read the entire question thoroughly in the first 5 minutes. Then in the next 5 minutes, in the descriptive part, one choice will be there, right? So in the second 5 minutes, you will decide as to which question you will not be answering. In the last 5 minutes, you have to decide the order in which you will be answering. So the question which you know the best, that you have to answer first. And then the question which you know the second best, that you will answer next and so on. So this will create a positive impact in the mind of the examiner. So this is the first 15 minutes how you have to use. Next is the identification of the high scoring questions. So whichever question you know well, better to answer that first. And then next mistake is poor time allocation during writing. So this point we'll discuss in the end in detail. Now let's go on to mistake number 5, that is insufficient revision. So most of the times it was noticed that students did not revise the concept thoroughly before the exam. So it is advised to revise once or twice at least. And then forgetting provisions, keyword and structuring the answer during exam. So if you do not revise properly, if you do not do written practice, and if you do not learn how to structure or present your answer, this results in vague or incomplete answer. Hence, it leads to loss of mark. The next error noticed was, that is error number 6, misinterpretation of question. So most of the times it was noticed that students misunderstood the requirement of the question. Hence, they applied wrong provisions or wrong concept. So, in spite of knowing the content and the details, because of misunderstanding the question, this led to loss of marks. So, please read the whole question carefully with a calm mind and then apply the correct provisions and the correct standards. Next, error number 7, weak conceptual understanding. So it was noticed that most of the time students have just done rote learning without understanding why a provision exists. So it was noticed that there was inability to handle application based question or twisted question. So as I mentioned previously, ICI tests how well we understand the concepts and not just our memorization skill. Next, mistake number 8, unable to apply the concept. So you know the theory well, but you are failing to apply it in case study or practical scenarios, especially topics like ethics, CARO, and standards on auditing based question. So for this, it is very important that you go through the case scenario booklet for MCQ, and for descriptive question also solve question which has many case studies and practical scenarios, because you must understand to apply the CARO, apply the ethics, and apply the standards, not just memorize and write, since in final level they will test more on the application part. So the key takeaway here is conceptual clarity, regular revision, writing practice, and proper utilization of reading time, and take time to interpret the questions correctly. So avoiding these common mistakes can significantly improve your exam performance, confidence, and leading to increase in your marks. Now we will discuss the time management in exam. So totally your exam is for 3 hours, that is 180 minutes. So plus 15 minutes reading time, that we have already discussed. So out of 180 minutes, keep aside 10 minutes for revision. So 170 minutes will be left. And then 50 minutes you keep aside for MCQ. So it was noticed that from past few attempts, like very big MCQs are asked, right? That is, case scenario itself is so lengthy that it is taking time to read and solve. So out of 180 minutes, we are keeping aside 10 minutes for revision and 50 minutes for MCQ. So balance now 120 minutes will be left. So in this 120 minutes, you have to answer 5 descriptive questions. So under this 5 descriptive questions, sub questions will be there. So for each descriptive question, you can spend 24 minutes. And further, you have to divide this based on each sub question. Summary now. Out of 180 minutes, 10 minutes is for revision, 50 minutes for MCQ, 120 minutes will be remaining. You have to answer 5 questions in this. So 24 minutes per question. So what I suggest is, before you go for the real exam, just take out some past year question papers, like 2 or 3 past attempt papers, and these 5 questions which I am telling in descriptive part, in that you just see how many subparts are there. So if you see past 2 attempts question, you will get some idea. So based on that, this 24 minutes you will have to further divide for each subpart. So in home itself, you calculate approximately how much time you will have to take for each subpart. So you will get an idea in the exam, and you won't waste time in the exam on calculating all this. So before going for the exam itself, these calculations should be ready in your mind. And ensure you finish each answer within this time. And in case you do not know the answer to any question, please leave some page for that and come back to it later on. And also answer all the subparts at one place and start each subpart and each question in a new page. So this will also enhance your presentation skills. So suppose you are answering question number 2 and you know subpart A and C and you do not know the answer to subpart B. So what you can do is write subpart 2A, then write subpart 2C and leave one page for subpart 2B and come back later on and write. However, write all the subparts at one place itself. So guys, these were the important exam oriented insights shared by the ICAI BOS for the CA final auditing. So which I have simplified and summarized for you. So if you follow these guidelines while preparing, and more importantly while writing your exam, you can definitely avoid common mistake and improve your scores significantly. So guys, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and also share it with your friends. And subscribe to the channel for more ICAI updates, exam strategies, and CA final guidance. All the best for your preparation. Study smart, write smart, and trust the process. I will see you all in the next video.